Hey, Sean, can you fill us in on the case?
Hello, detectives. We arrived at the park at 7:15 a.m. Park worker discovered the girl 10 minutes earlier. It's a corpse in a wedding dress. Documents, phone, money, or jewelry on her.
Has the preliminary examination revealed anything important?
We estimate the time of death between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. The victim has a temple wound and a bruise and graze on the left cheekbone. With nothing on her, it looks like a robbery gone wrong. We're trying to identify her now.
I might already know. Natalie Laurie. She's a supermodel. I've seen her name all over the internet. Yeah, she recently blurted out something controversial about a fashion designer.
A model? Sean, see if you can find anything on Laurie in the database. We'll examine the crime scene.
Consider it done.
Your current location?
Hello, detectives. Is this a murder weapon? I'm not sure it matches the wounds.
Well, there could have been a fight in the park. Our victim could be collateral damage.
I'll check it. It could be a piece of evidence.
Detectives, how's the investigation going? Have you confirmed the victim's identity? Yeah, it's Natalie Laurie. She's from Kansas. She has a clean record, nothing more than a couple parking fines. She was working as a model. We've already reached out to her agency.
We also found out she was renting an apartment above the Irish pub near our station. Chili McChubb is the pub owner and Laurie's landlord.
All right, head over there and see what he knows.
1024, request car-to-car transmission.
Mr. McChug, do you know Natalie Laurie?
Yes, she and Ray Church are renting an apartment for me. Ray's my cousin's son. He's an extreme cyclist, but more of a slacker than anything.
And, when did you see them last?
Maybe yesterday morning. I don't keep track. But I'm hoping this means they're out and about somewhere. Every time I see them, I regret renting to them.
Do you have Natalie's and Ray's phone numbers?
2, resuscitator is needed.
Sure, feel free to write them down. Why?
Natalie Laurie was murdered in a park close to your pub last night. Where did you get those cuts on your hands?
That's horrible. But, my hands, right? They're fine. I just cut them on a loose nail when I was carrying some crates.
Does not conform to regulation.
Ray called Natalie 5 times between 10:30 and 11 p.m. He called someone else too, but they didn't pick up until calling back 15 minutes later.
Natalie's records seem usual. She called Ray, the agency, and her parents. Nothing after 7:30 p.m.
Mr. McChug, did you forget to tell us something? Yeah, you're grabbing Ray Church by the chest in this photo.
The time and date here suggests this photo was taken shortly before Natalie's death. It doesn't look like a friendly contact.
I'm overloaded with work here. So what if I forgot?
Now, why were you fighting with Ray Church?
It wasn't a big deal. He owes me half a year's worth of rent. So we had a little skirmish. I reminded Ray about his debt. He said some rude things, so I gave him a...
If he wasn't paying his rent, why didn't you evict him?
Ray is family. Him paying rent was more of a formality. It's just... my patience has its limits too, you know.
Thank you, Mr. McChug. Please let us know if Ray shows up.
murder weapon was likely made of wood, with a hematoma on the left cheekbone being caused by a blow just before or during death. No signs of a struggle. Time of death between 11:30 and midnight.
Is there any evidence to suggest the body was moved?
Not yet. These types of injuries usually aren't accompanied by heavy bleeding. The broken bottle you sent me has no relation to the victim. It had already been there for several days.
Thanks, Will. We've also received information from the agency. Natalie's contract was terminated for undisclosed reasons. Her last photo shoot was just before the murder. She was supposed to be at a presentation soon after.
The party took place not far from the studio. It explains why she was wearing such a luxurious dress in the park at night.
10-0, caution. The subject is wanted for a felony.
Detectives, you're curious why I'm here. A horrible tragedy befell me. My good friend Natalie Laurie was murdered.
Good friend? Sure, whatever you say, Miss Fox. Now please, if you have anything on Natalie or her boyfriend Ray, please tell us. We don't mind.
I promise this will benefit us all. So, Natalie was a talented girl with great prospects, but she grew vain. She only had to apologize to the fashion guru to end the scandal, but she was too full of herself. I mean, a scandal can make you big. But Natalie wasn't the brightest girl out there. That's how she got blacklisted by all the top agencies. She was in a lot of debt. Her boyfriend was a penniless loser. Because of his arrogance, he missed the chance to sign a high-paying contract with Monster's bike.
When did you last see Natalie?
Yesterday evening, I came to pick her up from the studio at 10 p.m. so we could walk to the party together. Instead, she chose to stay with that strange Douglas guy. He's just another failure in the world of fashion. She said he was going to make special photos for her portfolio. Maybe she wanted to apply for something more serious. She even said that everything would work out for her soon. Ugh, I gotta go. Here's my email address. Be sure to send me some hot news.
10101, civil disturbance. Repeat last transmission.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas, for agreeing to speak with us. This is about the murder that took place in the park. Did you know the victim? Natalie Laurie?
Natalie's dead? Very sorry to hear that. We worked together several times.
Mr. Douglas, when did you last see Natalie?
Yesterday during a photo shoot. We ended about 10 p.m. Everyone else left for the party. I gathered some equipment and went to Chili's pub.
Is that all? I have a witness who claims you stayed behind with Natalie to take some special photos of her.
Nonsense. Natalie stayed to change for the party. I was just gathering my equipment.
Sure, sounds convenient. No one can confirm what you actually did. By the way, why'd you call her boyfriend?
Ray called me. I just called back. He was looking for Natalie, so I told him she was at the presentation.
Everything in Natalie and Ray's apartment looks like they only left for a short while. Now, Ray could have snuck out, though, leaving the debt to Natalie. I gathered a couple hairbrushes for DNA analysis. Their laptop may have some valuable information, too.
There's a copy of Natalie's certificate of insurance on the laptop. She insured her face for $1 million. Wow.
So if anything happened to her precious face, she would receive a small fortune. Oh, Natalie's agency paid the fees, so if the contract was terminated, this certificate will become void.
Serena, look at this. The policy lists two beneficiaries, Natalie and Ray. That's certainly interesting.
Repeat last transmission. Does not conform to regulation.
You brought me a new toy. Here, give me 30 seconds and I'll have access to every folder on this laptop. And voila!
Thank you, Shang. Lamont, there's incriminating evidence against McChug. Documents they used to smuggle alcohol.
Looks like our modest pub owner has serious connections with the underground market.
Our lovely couple decided to use this to blackmail McChug. Didn't matter to them, he was family.
So the pub owner had motive. Does this mean we're looking for Ray's body too?
Detectives, these incriminating documents and photos are just copies. Someone else has the originals. According to the database, McChug was never accused of smuggling, but the FBI have had their eye on him.
Thanks, Shang. Finding the originals is only a matter of time. I suggest we use this evidence as leverage over McChug, in case he refuses to talk.
Detectives, I found McChug. He's at the food truck festival in the park. See him? He's right over there.
Mr. McChug, would you step aside for a moment? We have a few questions we'd like to ask. Do these files seem familiar to you?
Don't try denying anything. The FBI are very interested in that case. Was Ray trying to blackmail you about this?
He was, but I didn't kill anyone. Ray found the photos. I thought he would stop the silly game after a short while, but he never did. I threatened him, but I swear, that's it. He seemed to come to his senses after that anyways. Besides, I have an alibi. Over a dozen customers can confirm I was at the pub. I'm willing to cooperate, but don't expect me to confess to a murder so your clearance rates go up.
Your alibi is dubious at best. The park is only minutes from the pub. No one may have noticed your absence if you had left. But now, we ask you to stay in the city. What do you have for us, Shang?
The search for the guy yielded no results. No credit card charges, no phone calls. And as for the dress, I managed to find an eyelash, sweat, and grease deposits. I also found a few bright hairs. A test shows they belong to a male Felis sylvestrius catus. Ah, look at your faces. I'm talking about a cat. It was cat fur.
I'm guessing it wasn't on the dress by accident. Must have come from the killer's clothes.
So our killer likes cats? That doesn't narrow down the suspects too much, but every detail counts. Thanks, Shang.
I'll let you know once I'm done extracting DNA from the eyelash, sweat, and grease deposits.
The IRS data shows our photographer was in a tight spot financially.
There's the court ruling. His ex-wife took everything she could. She took the car, holiday house, and alimony. She even tried to take his cat. She must have had a good lawyer.
His cat? What did he do to make her so spiteful?
I don't know. But it looks like the cat was all he got to keep. She took everything else, including massive alimony.
There are a lot of debtors involved with this case. They've all been keeping in close contact recently, too.
Lamont, while you were busy fixing that toy for the umpteenth time, I put Lee on redial. He keeps declining my calls, except now, his number can no longer be reached. Looks like he won't be coming to us. We'll have to...
Detectives. Pleasant day, isn't it? How's the investigation? Anything interesting to share? No? Well, unlike you, I've managed to learn something quite curious.
Miss Fox, you seem very keen to share this information.
I'm expecting something in return later, detectives. But for now, down to business. You remember the presentation that took place after the photo shoot? Well, it turns out the most prominent people of the fashion world were gathering there. New connections, contacts, orders. It's too fantastic of an opportunity not to show up. I also learned he'd never taken any special photos of anyone else before. I hope Natalie wasn't having an affair with that loser. He's not her type at all. Well, it's almost time for my next meeting. I'll be leaving. But don't forget about our little agreement, detectives.
10-0, caution.
So we have a possible affair between Lee and Natalie. Incriminating evidence against McChud, a $1 million insurance certificate, and Ray on the run.
That's 3 suspects in total. No direct evidence, just theories. Speculating only gets you so far.
You're right. We need to get... Oh, hey, give me a minute. The captain's calling.